I had to make a video about this, and it's something that I think trending thanks to one of the best fitness influencers in my opinion, which is Jeff Nippard, and now that Will Tennyson also did a video about it, as you can see in the screen. And basically is a theme about steroids, and it's something that has grown so much in popularity, so much on social media currently, on the fitness industry, because we all want to look great, right? We all want to look as the best as possible, but the problem is that young guys like me, young people like me that are just 19, 20, 21, 22, even on their old 20s or even in their 30s, they are considering going to steroids. And I wanted to make this video because I really want to help y'all to really make a good decision in this, because steroids is a life-changing drug and it's something that you need to take care of almost every single day. You need to take care of so many things. You're gonna have so many side effects depending on how you tolerate it, depending what type of steroids, because there's so many types of steroids, like Dianabol, like SARMs, like Trenbolone, like TRT. I can continue with the list, but I wanted to do this video because I really want you to consider 5 things. I want you to question this. I want you to make yourself these 5 questions before you can actually make the decision on going to steroids, because I really want to help you. I don't really want you to suffer, because maybe one of those side effects, for example, that Jeff Nippard told in his video is that once you start steroids, your body starts limiting the amount of testosterone it produces naturally. So if you go off steroids after a cycle, it's probably higher the risk that you will produce less testosterone than you were before in steroids, right? And that's something that we don't want, right? Because we want to use our bodies as much as possible. And so I'm just gonna go and tell you these 5 questions and 1 bonus question, which I think this bonus question is also very important. So I just noted them right here in this notepad. In this, how much have you been training consistently? How much time have you actually trained consistently? Because something is telling, I've had trained for 10 years, but I have trained consistently for 4 years. It's something very different, because if you have trained, like in my example, 10 years, but you have slacked off, you have maybe, I go 6 months, I was doing it very consistent, then because of XY event in my life I just stopped, and you just kept the snowball going, and you just kept not going to the gym, not doing it consistently, just because of an event that just occurred a month ago, which is bogus. How much time have you been training consistently? Because if you haven't trained consistently for at least 10-15 years, you shouldn't consider steroids in any possible way. I don't care if you have the excuse that is your genetics, or you don't have the time, or you're not fit for it, or whatever excuse you have, you must train consistently. If you want to have a really good physique, if you really want to have a very muscular physique, it's gonna take time. These are not beautiful words, but I'm telling you the truth. So if you really want to use steroids, use them after you have a lot of experience with your training, with your nutrition, and with your physique, and how your body responds to different training techniques. I already have some amount of muscle mass. I'm only 4 years in, which is not too much time, right? Though I started in 2018 and I was 2 years slacking, even though I still built some muscle because I had those newbie gains. Training consistently will give you way more results than you just slacking it off and doing whatever you feel like it, right? So my second question is, how much effort have you put on the gym and on your workouts? It's like a follow-up question from the last video. I'm sorry for the last question. How much effort have you put in? I'm gonna tell you the best example possible. When I go to the gym, I usually train pretty hard, since always finding more information, looking at the studies. That's why it's always cool to search information, keep learning every single day from the best people you see on the internet. You have so many information. I'm gonna just tell some names: Menno Henselmans, Mikey Svertel, Jeff Nippard again, Jeremy Ethier literally made me start going to the gym 4 or 5 years ago, and so many more. Jeffrey Verities, Schofield, I can continue the list. But you must actually put all of that into action. You need to actually put it in the test. And if you're not training hard enough, if you are not training close to failure or to failure, in my opinion, you're leaving a lot of things, a lot of gains at the table. You're leaving a lot of muscle mass. And so If you say you're going to train, you say you go to the gym, fine, you go to the gym, congratulations. Do you actually train hard? Do you actually do the things that make you gain muscle? Because everybody can say, oh, I went to the gym. What did you do? How much hard did you train? How much sets did you make? Did you just slacked it off and doing 1 second eccentrics, for example, or doing it fast reps, half reps? You're not gonna do anything with that. So I think this is a very important question that you should consider, especially before taking steroids, because I have seen the people I have seen in commercial gyms that are in steroids, they don't train hard, but it's because it's more easy for them to build muscle. But again, in my opinion, if you can avoid the risk, avoid it and just train harder. You're gonna even enjoy it better. I have started training more and more harder, and I really had enjoyed it way more than just, oh, now I need to do X amount of sets and this X amount of reps. Just enjoy it. That's why it's very important to choose one of the best exercises for you, because you can see on social media that the hip thrust is the best exercise for glutes. Maybe it's not, right? So the third question is, how is your nutrition outside of the gym? And I think this is another question that you must consider, because I'm gonna put the analogy that Mike Israel gives on his videos when talking about bulking and building muscle with nutrition, which is part of the whole picture. Because if you don't give that stimulus, and if you eat a lot of calories, you're gonna get fat. But if you actually go to the gym, give that stimulus to the muscle, do your cardio as well, your body is gonna physiologically change and it's gonna use the food in the correct way. And so, how's your nutrition, dude or girl or man? Because if you eat salads all day, you're just eating so few calories that your body is not gonna use it completely. It's like the analogy I just gonna tell you. When you build a house, do you think you're gonna complete the house by adding and removing the same brick again and again? Or instead of building the house, you're just digging a hole? You're not gonna build a house. Of course, you need to build a hole to put the surface, but you get me. You need to build the house with more and more bricks. So you need to build muscle with more and more calories. If you're not eating at least in a caloric maintenance, or above maintenance is a bit more above maintenance, you're not gonna build muscle. You're not gonna go anywhere. And so you need to dial in your nutrition. You need to create a meal plan for you. You need to see what foods you can enjoy for X amount of months in your bulk, how much your body can tolerate it. Because if your body don't tolerate oats, it's gonna be way more hard for you. But if you can tolerate rice or potatoes, it's gonna be way easier for you to eat more food, right? So if you say, oh, I'm skinny or I'm fat, maybe it's because of your nutrition. Maybe it's because you haven't taken too seriously your nutrition. And it's part of the deal, man. You have to do the hard things. And I know that nutrition is one of the most hard things to do, because we're tempted at so many bad foods, especially today with all the processed junk we see at the grocery stores and fast foods. It's normal, but you need to have that mental fortitude. So this question, consider it very seriously before taking steroids once again, or taking any other like Ozempic. People that take Ozempic probably don't have a mindset of exercise. They want to quickly do the quick fixes and lose a bunch of weight for a bunch amount of time, and then when they finish, they go back up again, probably because they didn't dial in their nutrition and their exercise. So that was a good one, right? The fourth question is, how much time do you spend on social media? Now, Sebastian, why are you talking about social media when it's things about steroids? Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, social media is why a lot of young people like me are taking steroids without actually knowing the consequences and the side effects it has. Because you see this huge bodybuilder with this huge biceps and this huge chest. I'm not gonna say they look very good. I'm like, wow, I want to be like that, and I will be like that. But the thing is that if you can be like that without taking steroids, again, consider the second question. And that's why you to consider this question as well. How much time do you spend on social media every day? Look at your phone and see how much time you spend in Instagram, in TikTok, Snapchat. Those social media, you're gonna see a lot of videos of those bodybuilders. And again, I'm not telling that all of those bodybuilders are bad, but if you're just watching too much content of that every single day, it's gonna tempt you to do the wrong decisions, man. And so for that reason, you need to make sure that you limit your social media use, stop comparing yourself with others, and start comparing yourself with yourself, because you must compare yourself with your past self and your future self. From your past self, what did I do wrong that I can improve on the future? You see, what can I do better in my training that I didn't do in the past, that and so doing that action will make me build more muscle in the future, right? It's simple. You need to think these things. You need to actually consider if you're doing the right or wrong things. And again, also be aware of why you use social media. If you just go to social media to entertain yourself and waste time and see all those videos that tempt you to take steroids, you're not gonna go in a good path. Now, if you have an intent, if you're going to post the content, you're gonna post a reel and then go off, that's completely okay. That's part of your job. That's part of your side hustle, your hobby, whatever it is. But if you just go because I'm bored, or don't do it. So consider not only when you're gonna, if you want to take steroids, but in whatever thing you're gonna do in your life. You waste time in social media when you can do many other things more productive. And so 5th question is gonna be, is it actually worth it? Why are you taking steroids? You must have an intent. I read the book of Mental Toughness of Andy Frisella 2 weeks ago, and one of the things that most impacted my decision making now is, what's the intent? What's your intent in doing such things? In whatever decision you're gonna make, what is your intent? What is your intent that taking steroids? For example, what is your intent? You think you're gonna get more laid when taking steroids? A lot of bodybuilders have already told that that's not gonna be worth it. It's not gonna happen. What you're gonna have is more boys and men cheering up you. Oh, you look good. Nice muscles, man. But if you like man and you're a man, then go ahead. I don't judge, but if you're a man that likes women like me, that's not gonna be a real thing. Now, if you want to compete in bodybuilding, you want to compete in the best of the best, then you must consider taking steroids. But the problem is that for us young males that are training, maybe we consider the easy thing like steroids instead of actually doing the hard things, like actually going to the gym consistently, dialing in with your nutrition, training hard at the gym. Things that you must do makes a lot of sense, right? Because if you continue to do the bad stuff, you're gonna have bad results, and I don't want you to have all those side effects. That's why I want you to see those 2 videos that I saw, which is the last video that Jeff Nipper put in his YouTube channel, which is called Steroids Are Awesome, and then the one that Will Tennyson, which he asked a lot of people at the gym if they consider taking steroids, and a lot of people, because of social media, it's because the reason they are considering that, right? And so again, you must have an intent. If you don't have an intent, if you don't have a clear intent, a vision, don't do that. Don't do steroids. Now, my bonus question, how old are you? How old are you, man? If you're seeing my video, how old are you? Are you 19 and you're considering steroids? Dude, that's a very high risk of your testosterone producing hormones and glands. You're putting at risk your skincare. You're gonna have acne. You're gonna put at risk your cardiovascular health, your liver health. I can continue with all the side effects. Just look at those 2 videos again. But if you're at least less than 30 years old, you shouldn't take steroids. Just don't. Again, it's those monotonous habits that are gonna actually make you gain muscle in a natural way. And that's why I preach for you. If you want to take steroids, first try to train as hard as you can, dial in your nutrition the best as you can, go as consistent to the gym as hard as you can, as consistently as you can, and after 15 to 20 years at least, or 10 to 15 years, in the range between 10 and 20 years, let's put it like that, then you can consider steroids or TRT or HRT. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not a specialized androgen or whatever, but I have seen a lot of information. I have searched a lot of information about steroids here and there. More place, more dates, that's another one. And he has said that it's better always to consider first training hard, dialing in to your training, rather than just going to steroids when you're just 19, 20, 21, 22 years old. You're gonna lose like that. So If you enjoy my video, if you enjoy my advice, you can subscribe to my channel. This is a good topic that we can talk right now. I think it's the best moment to talk about it, and it's trending right now, so I wanted to make a video about this and share my opinion about it. So I hope you all enjoy this video, and again, you can subscribe to my channel, like the video if I really helped you make a clear decision. And so see y'all in the next video. Check my personal training down below in the description.